very much for a very kind introduction. It is indeed my great honor to be here today and to be able to speak in the presence of Honorable Madame Sharon Abraham, Minister for Industries, Investment and Commerce from Jamaica, who has just made a very inspiring statement. Thank you very much for a very important statement you have made to our female generations to come. Thank you. And also, His Excellency Ambassador Alcock of Jamaica, thank you very much for your statement also. Also, I would like to thank President of Sugar Women's College, Madame Cobando, for her very special leadership to make this excellent symposium to be held here today. This symposium is designed to be very ambitious. It is designed with a very ambitious agenda, a very important agenda, and I would like to congratulate other able organizers for this symposium. It's a very full-sighted agenda. I would like to first of all remember very fondly the very important visit of the Honorable Prime Minister, Madame Miller, to this country. Thank you very much for this. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the very special importance of Jamaica in advancing the stable development within the Caribbean region and beyond. Also, I would like to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the diplomatic relationship between countries, and we share a lot of possibilities and agenda, such as employment. We also share a lot of commonalities. We are the island countries with a lot of potentials in the future. Now, also taking note of the common efforts made by women of both countries in making political, economic, and social development of our countries.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the symposium where we can change the world. I'm Marco Royal, Director for Mexico, Central America, and Caribbean Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, working as MC of the symposium. This symposium is co-organized by Showa Women's University, Embassy of Jamaica, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. We are all very pleased to realize this rare opportunity to gather eminent panelists of influential positions and decision makers in different areas to share their experiences and thoughts under this theme. As you can see in the program, this symposium is organized in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of Japan-Jamaica diplomatic relations, and also as a follow-up of the World Assembly for Women, WAW, held in this September this year in Tokyo. With that, I first would like to invite His Excellency Ambassador Ricardo Alcock, Ambassador of Jamaica in Japan, for the opening remarks. Ambassador Alcock has been a very active ambassador from the day one when he arrived to assume the post in September 2014, and the idea of holding this event was first brought by His Excellency. Ambassador Alcock, please take the floor.
Madam Master of Ceremonies, Ms. Maki Kobayashi, Director with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. The Honorable Sharon Fox Abrams, Minister of State in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce of Jamaica. Dr. Kuniko Inoguchi, Member of the House of Councillors. Ms. Mariko Bando, President of Showa Women's University. Ms. Aiko Yude, Professor of Hosei University. Ambassador Yasushi Takashi, Director General of Latin America and the Caribbean Affairs Bureau with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan, distinguished guests, students, members of the diaspora, ladies and gentlemen, konnichiwa. It's my delight and my honor to participate with you today in this symposium, which commemorates both the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Japan and Jamaica, as well as the auspicious occasion of the Japan-CARICOM Friendship Year, under the title, Women Can Change the World. It's my belief that women have already dramatically changed the world, but still possess the power to do increasingly more. And I think more than anything, this symposium is about reassuring, particularly the young women of Japan, that you have the power to make change in this country and across this globe. Just to recap, as we look again at this year in which we celebrated the two special relationships of Japan-Jamaica and Japan-CARICOM. The 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations kicked off last year in November with the official visit of the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller, Prime Minister. She was in Japan for 5 days, and that visit helped tremendously with cementing and expanding the already generous and warm relationship that exists between our two countries. Then in June of this year, June 2014, we enjoyed the 10th Jamaica One Love Festival, which was hosted in Yoyogi Park and received some 40,000 visitors. And we were very happy to share this special anniversary with so many Japanese. Then in September of this year, the embassy held Jamaica Cuisine Week at the Hotel Okura, where we had an opportunity historically for the first time to share Jamaican cuisine at such a high level with the residents of Tokyo and beyond. And from all accounts, it appears to have been a successful event, which we hope to put in place annually. So for those of you who missed it in the past, we're hoping that next year and beyond, you'll be able to participate with us. Regarding the CARICOM-Japan relationship, a number of special events have been held in Tokyo. I look back and beyond. I look back to July, which I think really was the kickoff point for Japan on a global scale, because Prime Minister Abe paid his official visit in that month to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, one of our sister CARICOM nations. And during the course of that visit, he also co-hosted with the Prime Minister of Trinidad the Japan CARICOM Prime Ministerial Summit in acknowledgement of Japan CARICOM Friendship Year. And then in October, we were fortunate by invitation from the Japan Poet Society to have a visit to Tokyo of Professor Edward Baugh, Poet Laureate of the University of the West Indies, which is the largest university in the Caribbean, and probably the most significant Caribbean institution after CARICOM itself. In November, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan, Kishida, hosted CARICOM foreign ministers here at a Japan CARICOM Ministerial Summit, and that we found was to the great benefit, mutual benefit of CARICOM and Japan. We thank our hosts again for so warmly accommodating the ministers who attended and representatives of CARICOM otherwise, and for the additional steps we were able to make in terms of progress in the friendship between CARICOM and Japan. CARICOM, which is short for Caribbean Community, is a community of 15 nations across the Caribbean, independent nations. This was formed in 1973. The first of those 15 nations to claim independence was Haiti in the early 1800s, and second was Jamaica in 1962, followed in rapid succession by the others. We have long been at this business. Women have also long assumed positions of leadership across CARICOM, beginning with the island state of Dominica, which elected the first woman prime minister in the Caribbean in 1980, and she served for 15 years in that capacity. At the moment, we enjoy the leadership of women at the level of prime minister, both in Trinidad and Tobago and in Jamaica. Prime Minister Simpson Miller, who I mentioned earlier, is Jamaica's 11th prime minister, and she was also our 8th, so this is her second time around as prime minister for Jamaica. But our history of the involvement of women across CARICOM, and more specifically in Jamaica, goes back centuries. And perhaps the best place for me to, the best starting point I could use is in acknowledging one of our 7 national heroes, the only woman to be a national hero of Jamaica, who simply goes by the name of Nanny. She and a group of runaway slaves back in the 18th century, 17th and 18th centuries, fought the British, which had occupied the island of Jamaica for nearly 90 years. And the British finally accepted that they would not be able to defeat this group of runaway slaves called the Maroons, and their leader, their chieftain and field general, Nanny, negotiated with the British in 1741 the land to be carved out on which the Maroons would live in freedom, even while slavery still existed in Jamaica. So the Maroons actually took their freedom through Nanny in 1741, 97 years before slavery was abolished in Jamaica. A tremendous achievement. And Nanny's boldness and courage and vision and tactical brain really are just one representation of many that we have of women who significantly impacted our country and our region. I think of modern day Jamaica, where we have very high participation of women at all levels of society. And more specifically, as I look at my first secretary from the embassy, she knows where I'm going with this. I think of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Jamaica, where the staff complement is nearly 80% women. And where, as I think of the number of ambassadors that we have abroad, more than 65% of our ambassadors are female. And this is standard across our society. We buy wholeheartedly into the empowerment of women, the support of women, and the encouragement of women. More recently, in 2013, the World Economic Forum produced a report on gender equality. And in its overall rating, Jamaica was ranked 47th, and Japan was ranked 105th. But in a segment of that report, there is a focus on women working in the public sector and working in management, and just a measurement of their work generally, of their participation generally in the workplace. And in that report, while Japan again ranks 105th, Jamaica ranks first. Now, Jamaica and Japan have a really wonderful relationship, as I mentioned, going back 50 years, and it continues in all this wonder and dynamism. But so much of that relationship is about Jamaica enjoying Japan's generosity. We have been able to impact your country in some ways, but I would say the majority of the impact lies in the delivery of assistance that Japan brings to Jamaica. But we thought that this was one way in which perhaps there's something more that we could share with Japan when looking at these reports and seeing that Jamaica had more of an advantage